Hey, welcome to Edukov. This is Farhan, and today our topic is defense in depth. This is a very important topic, and it usually comes in cybersecurity a lot. And once you know about this concept, so let's start. Okay, we have a definition here, and it says defense in depth is a cybersecurity strategy that uses multiple layer of security controls to protect systems, data, and network. Here is a term, here is a, two words, multiple layers. This is the main concept of defense in depth, multiple layers. Yeah, we can say wherever there is multiple layers, that's basically as termed as defense in depth. In cybersecurity, obviously. Okay, so yeah, multiple layers is defense in depth. So we can say that defense in depth is basically a kind of like a layer to layer. Like example, when you lock a door, and if you have multiple locks, then for a hacker it will be very hard to crack them. If they able to crack one lock, try to able to open one lock, they have to open other locks as well. And it will be difficult for them to actually go one by one. So yeah, it is basically defense in depth. It's multiple layers of security. And the purpose here of multiple layers is to protect our systems, our data, our networks, systems like our servers, our computer, our mechanical thing, whatever it is. Data is like through encryption, we can protect it. Networks, our, systems as well. So, okay, one more thing I want to say. It's segments. Segments is basically a kind of like a virtual distribution of any kind of server or something like that. Okay. So basically, in a server, what just happens? Like take an example of email server. Okay, email server. DMZ, demilitarized zone server. So these two servers are basically different. If there is an attack on email server, it will remain up to email server only. It won't go to DMZ. It won't be affected. Okay, and this is one of a form in defense in depth. It's basically it's reduced surface area. That's also true. It's reduced surface area. These are the surface area attacking can basically exploit, and it protects us from that. And here it says even if one layer fails, others still protect you. That is true. Absolutely, it is true. So we can take another example as well. If there is a hacker here, and or maybe an APT, whatever it is. So what has happened is, if they are able to get into a system, like if a port is open into a website or something like that, they will face a lot of things. They will face firewalls, they will face antiviruses. Maybe if they won't be able to even log in or something like that, like many companies, what they do, they use VPNs. If basically you have to log into VPN, then only you will be able to access the company account or something like that. For example, what the companies they do, they installed VPN services into their environment. What they do, and if an employee want to access any kind of crucial thing in the company, then they have to log into first VPN. Then only they will be able to log into or do their own their things for the company. So yeah, VPN is one of example as well. It's a defense in depth, and yeah, multiple layers. It's a very important two words. If there is multiple layers, you can just randomly say that yeah, it is defense in depth. Okay, let's move forward. Now, why it matters? And yeah, this is a very important point. Why defense in depth? It matters a lot. Why it's a very big thing in cybersecurity. So let's go with the points. It says attackers often bypass single control. Obviously, if attackers often bypass single controls, if there is, only single lock on a door, and they can absolutely, open it. If they know how to open it, And one example I can also say, there are lots of softwares, and patching them is very important. If you don't patch some kind of software, if there is an update and you don't patch them, so what has happened is older softwares, older versions of softwares, what it basically they have vulnerabilities. Uh, every system have vulnerabilities. If you got an update, maybe after a few days, someone found out, some researcher or any kind of like a hacker, they found out that there is some kind of vulnerability into that software or system, and they can exploit it like other person. And what has happened is research, and many hackers, what they do, they post that vulnerability online in some kind of websites or like a lot of things. People do that, and other people, maybe not the same person, don't want to they reported the vulnerability just for good purposes, but other person who get to know about the vulnerability, they will try to exploit the vulnerability and try to damage things, try to gain some kind of profit from that, their own profit, and loss for the company for sure. So what just happened is that we need to absolutely patch our systems, and it is very crucial for it. It is also some kind of like defense in that kind of thing as well. And what the thing is, if the older softwares, it will be easier for them to get into that because of that vulnerability. If you patch them, then it will become hard for them. They won't be just able to bypass it. So reduce the chance of full compromise. Absolutely. If there is a compromise into a system just like that, if there is a compromise in one layer, just like we have discussed about example with email server and DMZ, demilitarized zone server. So there was a compromise in email server, so it will just remain to this only. It won't go to DMZ. It will be safe. It's very important. It's there are lots of crucial software on the demilitarized zone. So email servers will be affected and DMZ will not be affected. So it's basically limit the attack surface, and that's very good. Yeah. Okay, now there is slow down attacks. Obviously, if there are lots of locks indoor, then one by one attacker have to open one lock, then another, then another, then another. And sometimes what happens is they just see a lot of lock, and they will say, I won't be able to do that. They get scared. They get it's not possible to open them. So it's in the benefit of the defensive kind of thing. And it's true. It's a good practice. So defense depth is very important in such cases. It's basically slow down attackers. That's great. And the fourth point is increase detection opportunities. Obviously, like we have this example only. The attack was happened in email server, not DMZ. Okay, so the detection will be done in email server. We can also detect some kind of things like in DMZ as well, but not on a very it's an additional, isn't it? Not very you have to do that. But email server, there is a main thing what has happened. So the main focus will be on this server, not on DMZ during the time of detection or on recovering and all the stuff response on recovering. So it's the endpoint is provide redundancy and stronger overall security. Obviously, it provides security, defensive depth. There are multiple layers of security, one by one. There is firewall, there is antivirus, there is proxy services, lots of things, VPNs. Encryption, encryption, hashing, it's the data in transit, encryption, data transit, data in rest. So they are very important. So let's go with another slide. Hey, we have basically a diagram or chart. We can say that it's different in-depth DIT. So physical layer, for physical layer, we can say that it's CCTVs, maybe like locks, closed doors. It's also important. Maybe some guards as well. Okay, and for network security, we can say that physical or like physical or virtual firewalls. That's important. Okay. Endpoint security, we could say that antiviruses and application security as well. We can also say that this application with antiviruses are like on Android phone as well. It's also true. Like antivirus on mobile phone is very good. Data security, we could say it's encryption or hashing, encryption. And IAM is identity and access management. This is a very good thing, like very important sector in like every company. Every company do have this kind of sectors. IAM department, which basically what they done, they do authentication, authorization thing. They identify, that person is valid. They need to have that kind of access, and they basically grant that access to them. It's a very important department, and it's pretty cool. Basically, like all big companies or mid-term companies all have this environment for this department. Yeah. Okay, at the end there is a seventh layer, and it is monitoring and response. It's kind of like a guy when if a hacker tries gain like able to get through all these steps, 6 steps, and at the end there will be a guy. I'm here to protect my my system, my server, whatever the thing is. I will just monitor them. I will see every guy passing through, and I will just, if I find any kind of anomalies, any mishappening, I will just respond to it, and I will respond to it. And it's just like the endpoint kind of card, and this is very important, and it's good. It's just basically, layer to layer there is defense. That's the thing, defense in depth, layer to layer, multiple layers. Okay, with that, I think you guys must really understand that what is defense in depth. This is a very important topic. It comes in lots of time in cybersecurity field, and implemented in real world as well. So with that, thank you. I need to write that. Okay, bye-bye.